Good day, everybody, and welcome to the February edition of the Council at a Glance. I'm Ghislain Forcier, Communication Manager at Town of Brome Lake, and I'm with Mr. Mayor Richard Burcombe. Good day, Mr. Mayor.
Good day, Ghislain. It's a pleasure to be here again. This is our fifth capsule that we're doing, so let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
The first subject, Mr. Mayor, is there's new developments about the Brome Lake Police Service. What can you tell us about that?
That is correct. After the elections, we were informed that it would take a private bill to have our request treated in the National Assembly, to be served by the police of Bromont here in the town of Brome Lake, since the Sûreté du Québec are already here. Then we found out just recently, in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, that they're unable to treat our private bill in the National Assembly this spring because their calendar is full, and for the Minister of Public Security, and because they have to treat there's private bills for the age for the consuming of cannabis, and there's of course for the register of firearms, and also the nomination of the Director General of the Sûreté du Québec. So they told us they're taking our dossier very seriously, but at the same time they'll be unable to pass it. So this will be extended to the fall session of the National Assembly, but it's going to go through, and even the communication person for the public security minister stated that there might be other ways that we can do it without tabling a private bill. So they're very conscientious of our request, and I'm sure it's going to be treated in the fall session.
Yeah. The second subject, Mr. Mayor, on Monday we learned that the CARC Foundation will make a donation for a splash pad. What is it exactly?
That's correct. The CARC Foundation, of course, has a certain amount of money, and it's for the recreation and leisure for the citizens of Town of Brome Lake, and especially around the community center. So the idea came up for a splash pad, and of course, naturally, we're going to accept it. I mean, it's a donation. I mean, it's good for all ages, which is great. You have sections of the splash pad that are for small children, very young children, for older children, for adults, and for senior citizens also, like myself. So the council was unanimous that it's a great addition, and it would have been great for this past summer, in the month of August, which was one of our most hot and humid summers, especially for the month of August. But we're very fortunate to have CARC. They gave us our community center, and now a splash pad, and we hope that it would be ready for the start of the summer.
Yeah. The third subject, Mr. Mayor, the council took position on the Estrie Administrative Region project. Tell us what it is exactly.
Yeah, well, all the departments going back a year and a half, 2 years ago, departments people might not realize, but the transport, the health, santé, and tourism and environment, and the forest department and the agricultural department are all situated in the Montérégie, and they're managed by the Montérégie. But in the last year and a half, before the coalition came in, the Liberals transferred up to 7 departments, including tourism, environment, santé, and also the transport, which is a big one. It was one we deal with all the time, a lot, and the environment. They were transferred to Sherbrooke. So what's left in the Montérégie is the forest, the agricultural, and maybe a couple of other departments, and the administration. So why not just group it all together? Because our affinity is with the eastern part here, l'Estrie, the eastern townships, of course, as we say, and why not just transfer everything there? So we passed a resolution requesting that, because Brome-Missisquoi as a whole has to make a decision on this.
And last, Mr. Mayor, you wanted to give an update on the Trestle Cove walkways project.
Well, from what we can see now, the tenders have been sent out. We've already had people, companies calling us back for more information. We want to be able to choose the lowest bidder and pass it at the next council meeting on the 4th of March. So from the 4th of March, after that, it's up to the contractor. He's the one that's going to decide the best way to install it. I mean, it's not for us to dictate how he's going to install it. I mean, they know their business. And there's new techniques that exist now that didn't exist before. So we're looking at into the fall, and in that period, that Trestle Cove, the bridges will be installed, and it's going to be, it's fantastic. Seriously, that's one of my biggest dreams, is to see that Trestle Cove. Quilliams is done. That was the first phase, and now the second phase will be Trestle Cove.
Yeah. Well, that concludes our February edition of the Council at a Glance. We just want to remind you that the next council meeting will be held on March 4 at Centre Lac-Brome at 7 o'clock. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Ghislain.
It's been a pleasure.
A pleasure too, and don't forget St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And for all of you, happy St. Valentine's Day, and enjoy. Thank you.